Well.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Jen Crichton. I am being allowed to hold control of the pots and pans today in Farmer's Kitchen. I'm not sure why they decided to let me loose because I'm eating far too much, but I'm here for it. I'm okay with it. Courtney Brandt is here with me in the studio as well, encouraging my food habits. And a minute ago we were talking about pricing for restaurants here in Dubai, but as is the way here, we like to set records, and there's a particular dinner coming up, Court, that I think may be the most expensive I've ever heard of here.
I think it beats... Do you know what, though? I did once have a 10,000 dirham meal in the past 2 years here, so it's close to that. Now that I think about it, I did do that. This is the Infinity Dinner, and this is taking place at the Link, the one and only Zabeel. It is an array of talent. If you are into fine dining and stars and number ones and chefs you just wouldn't see altogether, it is a once-in-a-lifetime event. And there are only 20 seats. You know, we like to keep it exclusive. But it is the running cost is 15,000 dirhams per ticket, per person.
15,000 dirhams per person.
Yes, that's 15. I didn't set the price, but I know many of the chefs that are involved, and I've dined at almost all the restaurants at One and Only. So it's just, to me, like, it's like paying for the privilege of this culinary talent all in one place. I'm going to do a humble brag, and I'm sorry to the people listening. I got to go see Massimo Bottura in Modena earlier this year, and he was serving us in the private dining room the first meal that he had done with the new menu. And we paid the price at the end, and I thought to myself, this is incredible. And it seemed expensive at the time. It was about, I think, 600 euro per person. And that seemed a little high, but then I thought people would pay tens of thousands of euros for the experience that I just had. It's kind of what do we put the price on? What is, to me, food is worth a lot. To others, I totally understand if you don't want to go on holiday and spend tens of thousands of dirhams or dollars or anything, like, that makes sense to me. It's just what I choose to spend my money on.
And I get that. Like, I love food, and I will spend more money on good produce, and I will spend a lot of time in the kitchen at the weekend cooking because it's what I love to do. And I get that. But is there a line at which it becomes inaccessible to people?
I think keeping it as a one-off event really does help. And I will say that this is leading up to our Michelin Awards, which are taking place July 4th. So we will have all these chefs in town. And I think other chefs, Jason Atherton will be in town. Like, a lot of the celebrity chefs will be in Dubai, which is fun and exciting to see all those stars go out. So I think that the One and Only team are very smart and just saying, look, we have everybody here. Let's do something with that. And it's in my mind, it'll be a fun kickoff to the next day, which is the Michelin. And it's like, for me, it's like the Oscars. It's like the Academy Awards. And I love seeing what this industry has done in such a short time.
So it's the day before Michelin.
I'm nearly 99% that it's July 3rd, and then Michelin takes place on July 4th.
And which names are we talking here? Because they are big chefs.
Yes. So you will see Chef Dabiz, who is Street XO, and he runs a number of restaurants in Spain, but he is always up there in the world's 50 best. He's mixing it up every time. I believe that Chef Paco Morales, he's got a 3-star in Spain as well. Chef Sophie Peak, she's got multiple stars. Yeah. Chef Sagetsu, I think he will be there. Chef Mehmet from Turkey, who runs the kind of big space. The 2 chefs from Balan in Thailand. And I'm missing somebody and it's killing me, but I'm not going to look at my phone and figure out who it was. Anyway, it's a collection unlike any other.
I mean, it's a lot of bang for your buck.
There you go.
But it's considerable buck.
Yes. There are 2 sides to this, yes.
Now, at the opposite end of the scale, you've put a very intriguing headline here on my script. It says, how Big Macs and Chick-fil-A's sandwiches became America's hot new status symbols. What?
So we can all recognize inflation is happening. It's not something we can deny that prices have gone up. And so what we maybe thought of as being high income, maybe in the States especially, is now having a trickle-down effect, so that the one quoted in the article is a woman is sending, like, she's got a teenage boy, he's hungry, he's eating, there's like a status around where do we eat our fast food, and also that perhaps maybe, and I'll go test this when I'm home in August, that fast food, kind of has stepped up their game, that there are some more premier or premium sandwiches or ingredients available. I don't know if I buy into all of that exactly, but I do have my favorites. I will seek them out. And often if you would do a cost comparison, they would cost more.
Now, you were talking there about inflation, and there's another story here about inflation and the impact it's having on pricing in restaurants from the restaurant side. And I would imagine it is kind of hard right now for a lot of restaurants to kind of maintain their margins with these rising costs, right?
Yes. It actually kind of leads into another article that I was reading in the New York Times, that it's people, not here, but it's when you get the bill at the end of the day, do you feel okay? Did you get value for money? Or is there maybe a sneaky cost in there? So sometimes the restaurants, not the reputable ones, nobody I can think of here, but it would have like a service charge or something in there that you weren't expecting. And that as a consumer, I would rather see transparency and say, we are trying to pay our employees a fair wage, and that's why it costs what it costs, because a taco, when you break it down, equals da-da-da-da with the marketing, ingredients, talent, labor, all of that adds up. And so when you understand all the pricing that goes into something, that's why.
Now, when we're talking about quality food, no shade on the airlines, but I don't think most of us think brilliant meal, memorable dinner on such and such aircraft.
Yeah.
And also, when we think about really good food, we often think about France. So, Air France restaurant is a thing now?
So we know the Olympics are coming up soon. We have everything this summer. And Air France has decided to do a pop-up restaurant for the Olympics, Palais de Tokyo, an 80-seat pop-up restaurant. And it will feature the food of the Air France long-haul business seat selection. It costs €85 and includes drinks. And I've seen pictures, and do you know what? I am the kind of aviation food geek who would wrong. Paris has too many restaurants, but it's going to be a busy time. It will be a fun thing to tick off, culinary, whatever. It's just something different. I always love a pop-up experience.
I mean, I do think that airline food is generally getting better.
Yes.
But is Air France particularly renowned for its food? Is there more to this? Or is it just literally the Olympics are there and this is a fun kind of gimmicky thing to do?
I think we're somewhere in the middle again. I think we're marketing a bit. Their La Première, which is their first class experience, which I don't think will be offered here because I know it's caviar. I have a friend who always travels with them. I just, watch, vicariously and live that life. But yeah, so I don't think it's the first class. And I don't know if they've won awards. Look, I'm an Emirates girl, and I love an Emirates business class. There's lots of selection. I'm also, when you're 30,000 feet up, just please bring me something to eat.
And we've got time for one more before the news. And there's a story here I am reading this as suggesting that there's more chocolate in the cookies. Is that correct?
Yes. This is part of, I get all my food news. Every morning I wake up and I look at stuff. So this is, it was part of, the thing that caught my eye, I'm going to get back to it, was a dill pickle goldfish. And this is like the goldfish crackers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing a collab this summer. And it was so the triple chocolate is like a s'more chocolate thing. But then in the same article, they had a dill pickle goldfish, limited edition. I will be looking for that because I really want to see what that tastes like.
Now, my little boy likes goldfish crackers and he likes pickles. Mm-hmm. But that sounds like my sort of Room 101 nightmare.
You got tang, you got a little spice. Something about it is fascinating to me.
I'm not with you on that one. But the other thing that was in that article was that, is it Toll House?
Yes.
Cookies are getting triple the chocolate chips.
I think, I don't know how much we'll see on the shores here, but it was just, I think, you go to a Spinneys and you see your semi-sweet and your, dark chocolate, and this one is just I don't know, I would open it, I wouldn't even cook, I would just eat all the chocolate chips. So I think it's a dark chocolate, a white chocolate, and maybe just a milk chocolate, which seems like they should have done that earlier. But anyway, packaging looks great. But yeah, I would just be oh, cool, trail mix for me.
Which brings us up to the news and possibly means that we will be eating some more of those cookies you brought while we're in that news. Those don't have triple chocolate, those have triple butter, for sure.
Delicious.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go and eat cookies while you listen to the news with Nadia Swan. And then up next, we're talking vegan ice cream.
Your ARN News.
From the ARN News Centre, I'm Nadia